back at it again with another episode of the Andrew Lake Podcast. So good to be with you. Welcome, sending you warm feelings and love from around the world to around the world, from me to you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening and good night, as our good friend Jim Carrey once said in that movie, The Truman Show. I am very glad to be with you and happy to be bringing you the quote of the day. Acid Quote Tease. If you would like to support the podcast, you can buy me a coffee. Follow the link in the description to buy me a coffee. Doster Andrew Lake is my name. And this quote, well, I mean, what have we got? To remove presence, agency. No, I've butchered it. Oh my goodness, how can I get this? To receive omnipresence, remove agency. Do you get the sense that what you do is you doing it? Do you get the sense that what you think is you thinking it? Do you get the sense that your life is your thing that you make happen? This is such an intricate tangle. It's such a delicate, tricky little thing. Is it you or is it not you? When we talk about this in a sense of non-duality philosophy and this sense of, well, you are not you, you are everything, and you have this sense of what you are that can actually change and evolve into you being all things. It's all good and well done and said, and that's actually great stuff to explore. This really is the insight that we're sharing with this saying. To receive omnipresence, remove agency. And it's simply a matter of, you've got your non-dual philosophy. That's great. That's great. Look, listen to that. Listen to that stuff. Beautiful stuff. Wonderful speakers. No problem with it. But beyond just listening to high philosophy, there's something in you that says, okay, I have to do something about this. Then when you do something, you go and you explore and you meditate and you learn the techniques. You do awareness intensives. You learn how to play question tennis. You learn perception dynamics. And that's great. That's an amazing path. I highly recommend that journey for each and every individual. That is a time and a place to be on your way, in your time, in your chapter. That has to be one of your foundational chapters in life. No two ways about it. But then beyond that, you sort of end up with a life which is just, well, okay, this is life. And most of these things I wouldn't even think about normally anyway. Most of these things wouldn't even occur as a kind of conceptualizing life. Like, we don't conceptualize life so much that we go, oh, okay, I sit down, think of my theory of life, and then I go and live it. It's not so ABC procedural. It's more of an unfolding. It's more of a back and forth. And omnipresence is such a far out sort of thing, really. Like, you do sort of keep that as an experience for your meditation retreats, for your consciousness exploration. And yet it is also possible to have that in day-to-day life. Like, to have this sense that life is just happening in space. It's happening in presence. It's happening in the way that you are. I mean, I sort of struggle with this thing of, yes, you have to be motivated. Yes, you have to find the way to work on your projects. That's sort of a baseline motivational self-help sort of attitude. And that's great. Nothing wrong with that. But then it's like life just happens in its own accord and in its own way in so many ways. And I struggle with this in the way, like, let me just make this a bit more concrete. Like, for me, it's like when someone asks, oh, what do you do? Or what's your stick? Or what are you into? It's first of all really hard for me to say just exactly what it is. And it's also hard to explain exactly how and what it is and my connection to what it is that I'm doing. This is difficult for many reasons. For one, there's just so many different things, and it's tricky to go through how different they are and how much they mean to me. Yeah? Like, I was talking with a new friend who I met the other day, and I was just like, okay, I have to stop being weird about this. I have to just say, this is the stuff that I'm doing. These are the projects that I'm doing. I have to be comfortable with it, and I have to get more comfortable with talking about it. So one of the things is that I said, well, I run a podcast. What is the podcast? Well, we share the quote of the day. And where did the quote of the day come from? Well, one time when I was on a nude beach, I took acid and started thinking up funny one-line jokes, which were sort of half jokes, half pick-up lines, half insights, and they became the quote of the day. And then I had the brilliant idea of saying, well, why don't we just dedicate one episode of the podcast to each quote of the day? And that's the podcast. And along with that, we've got the T-shirts, right? The merchandise store, which is the T with the quote on it so that you can express the acid consciousness, the psychedelic consciousness. You can have a little taste of something into that psychedelic realm. So that's just one project, right? That's just the podcast, or it's sort of like a tandem project, the podcast and the teas. Now, beyond that, I'm also into jazz piano. So I actually play jazz piano. That's one of my passions. And I play the jazz standards of America. I play the classic standards, All the Things You Are, Autumn Leaves, Anthropology, What's New, these sorts of classic standards. You've heard them all. And that's a real passion. I was telling this to my friend. I mean, I didn't tell her so much about the acid trip. I just mentioned the podcast in passing. But I said, I play jazz piano, and she goes, oh, wow, that's amazing. You should go to this jam session and you can do this and tell me about it and all this sort of stuff. And she was so enthusiastic, which is great. I love the enthusiasm. But with all that she was expressing and all of her reaction, I realized that at this rate, I could not explain all of the other projects that I do. Yeah? I couldn't also explain. Actually, I've got another YouTube channel as well. So I'm starting up a YouTube channel, and this is going to be very different to the podcast. It's completely different. It's a completely different approach. So the YouTube channel is actually connected to a book that I'm writing. So I'm writing a book on Stoic experiencing. And this is also very much part of my experiences with meditation retreats and awareness intensives and consciousness and all of that good stuff, and psychedelic consciousness, of course. And this thing of writing a book, sort of trying to get it into a roughly essay form, so it's sort of more formal, and then putting that into video form. So it's going to be short form video with images, and they're going to be like previews as a kind of promotion for the book, and it's going to be its own channel. Now, that project is isolated. In my experience, it's very much different to the podcast because it's written word, so it's far more refined, and it's a very different tone of voice. It's a very different language. I use a completely different language. It's direct language. It's masculine language. It's to the point language. And because it's so different, I see it as something totally separate. Now, I'm not even going to mention what the channel is. I'm actually going to try and keep it as a secret. And this is another sort of game that I play unto myself, which is that if I can keep these projects separate, yeah, if I can see which project is going to work in its own way and see if I can do it unto itself and see how it goes, then it's like I'm doing so many different things. It's like I'm actually having a different thing. And I love this. I love having different projects. I love having different things going on. So that's not even close to how far we go. Now, when I talk about these things, I also get the mental sort of fatigue myself of like, how do I explain all that I do. I've got the podcast, I've got the merchandise store, I've got my jazz piano, and I've got my YouTube channel, which is a separate thing. And then on top of that, I've also got my personal YouTube channel. And then I've also got my graffiti YouTube channel. So I've done graffiti for years, doing huge murals, painting graffiti on walls, trackside spots, trains, billboards. And my graffiti channel, well, I mean, it's pretty quiet these days. I don't do it so much these days. I'm very much retired from graffiti, but that has been a massive thing for me. So I met a friend the other day and I was like, oh, sorry, I can't talk for so long. I've got to get back to editing, because I was really in this thing of editing one of the videos. And I was like, when my head's in it, I become a bit obsessive, like thinking, oh, if I fix this, then I have to change this. And that's just how the creative process is. When you're working on a project, you find that each thing leads to the next step and you go, oh, okay, so I need to fix this up and I need to do this. And it's a flow. It's a workflow. So I met this friend and I was like, sorry, I have to leave. And I sort of ditched her and left her to hang with everyone else. And she goes, you're telling me that you're editing a video, but you don't tell me, like, why don't you tell me about it? And I go, oh, well, I just don't want to explain. I just don't want to sort of, like, I edit videos, but that means like so many different things, because it means I edit videos for this, and then I edit videos for graffiti, and I've also done, videography for the Splinter Orchestra, and then I've got this other thing. So it's like I'm a videographer, but even within that, there's multiple projects. Even within that, it's very hard for me to say, well, what kind of videography do you do? It's the calamity of being so many different things, and the calamity of having such richness that it's isolating. And in a sense, it's good because, I have so many projects. And this isn't even anything to say of my main project. Like, my main project is founding Melbourne Body Awareness. So this is a wellness institute that I'm starting up. And within that, we've got Tai Chi, energy awareness, dance, perception dynamics. I want to put on some of my own awareness intensives. So if you're listening to this, do sign up for my next awareness intensive. And this, and also Tantra and couples awareness techniques. So that's part of it as well. I need to make sure I mention Tantra. And this wellness center, this institute that I'm founding, is a massive project, right? It is like looking for, at this stage, it's very much in its infancy. I'm looking for a place to have it. I found a good place to do Tai Chi classes outdoors. I'm also looking for people. I've also done up the A-frame. I'm going to be even doing a video for it, right? So that's another thing of how the videography comes into it. So if I want to put something forward, it's not the podcast. Like, when I'm meeting people and I'm getting to know people and I'm making new friends, as I so often am, and as I always endeavor to continue to do throughout life, and as should you also, it's not like my creative projects are not things that I really even talk about. And so I guess, with this particular friend that I was saying that I ditched the other day in order to go and do some editing, it's like she can sort of sense, I've got all these projects, but I can't say too much about it. And it's like, well, the other side of all this, and the sort of thing that I sort of put forward, is why not get to know the real me? Why not get to know the me that is the presence of what it's like to actually talk to me? The presence of what it's like to look into my eyes, to see my mannerisms, to see how I perceive you as well. And so much of what is me is how I have an interest in you. It's how I react to your story. It's how I feel when you talk. It's how I listen to you. Can you see that when you speak and when you give your story, it resonates with me? Can you see that I want the best for you? It's also my intention for you. Because I want you to feel safe. I want you to feel the love. I want you to feel heart-opening and grounding and presence and a sense of direction. I sincerely want you to be able to make your way through the day without too much stress, without too much worry, without freaking out, without becoming overly tired. Yeah, this is the good life. The good life is remaining grounded, even when you have to work a lot, even when you have many things on and you're busy, even when you have lots of projects. Yeah? Now, for me, of course, after this sort of spiel about how many projects I've got, I realize, well, what is it for me? What is it for me to have that for myself? Can I do that for myself? And the answer is, well, to a degree, yes. Now, I'm no master. Yeah, I have my moments. But what's in me is beyond the projects, because it's the ability to be at peace with them. And not even at peace, but to enjoy the complexity, to dance with all of the chaos and the busyness and the complexity. It's really very much a matter of having a rich life, having many things going on. And for me, this approach isn't so much about doing. It's about receiving. It's about holding space. It's about allowing things to happen. And to sort of go back to what I was saying about, what is it that is the real me? Well, it's the presence. And you sense the presence when you can know how it is that I listen to you, how it is that I receive you, how it is that you make an impression upon me. When we meet and we talk and we have a conversation, can you see that I understand you? Can you see that I can know you and I can believe what you're saying? And I can do that to the extent that I remain, in a sense, for want of a better word, omnipresent in that situation. And my omnipresence is nothing, it's nothing so unique unto me, yes? We all have experiences of omnipresence. We all become omnipresent when we hold space for another person. When you remove that judging voice within your head, when you remove all the stuff that you say is you, then you become empty, you become open, you become able to receive the person that you are listening to. Normally, when you listen to someone, you have agency. Yes, you have the voice in your head. That's a kind of agency. You have your idea or your intention and your story and the stuff that's happening in your life. Yeah, this is all agency. All of the you-ness that is you is agency. And to really receive life and to receive another person, you must remove that agency. And that's how you become omnipresent. You become able to hold the space. So that's a little bit about the quote of the day. That's all we've got time for. And I am honestly, deeply and sincerely hoping you have a beautiful day. Stay grounded. Feel the love. Open your heart. Open your mind. Feel the good vibes. Stay safe. Stay cute. And stay beautiful. We'll be back very soon with more. There is so much more to come. We are very glad to be with you. See ya. Bye-bye. Bye. Have a good day. We'll see you next time.